Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 51. I'm smiling because I genuinely straight up love this stuff. This isn't work to me. I'm so grateful to be here with all you guys. Paradigm Shift, episode 51. I'm glowing right now. Christine in the house, Alexandra, Jesse. We're going to bring on groundbreaking Greg Reid in just a moment. But first, the articulate alligator, my partner in crime, Big Bad Dave Meltzer, also known as the Quantum Quail, also known as the Blessed Bat, also known as the Sex Swordfish. So we're going to bring him on in just a moment. And that's really it. We're going to get nuts. I see you, Big Dave. And groundbreaking Greg Reid. We're going to bring you on in less than 5, brother. Less than 5. Dave, and I have to accept the fact that he's going to make me look not handsome because he is the sex icon. It is what it is. What are you doing?
I am getting ready to go to South by Southwest. Got a big keynote there. I'm meeting Marshall Falk, Erica Nardini, Paul Rabel, Stephanie McMahon. We got a bunch of content and speeches and panels and fireside chats and meetups with Alex Machinsky from Celsius Network. So finished filming last night, got home at 11, and I'm back off to South by Southwest after this.
You really are the keynoting kangaroo. I'm so proud of you. Unbelievable stuff. Well, that's quite the lineup. I love you and proud of you, and it's an awesome experience, and just love you. Great stuff. All good things.
I want a big shout out to Dr. Sean Dill, Lacey Book, superstars on my TV show yesterday. We brought it home with the great Les Brown. We had Grant Cardone. Amazing people. So many. I'm gonna Liz Claiborne, Korkova. We have about 72 people, the biggest names on Apple TV for our late night show, and we just finished it up, wrapped it up. Dan Fleischman was there, Flex was there, and some really great people. And a big shout out, especially to Travis Matthew. Ryan Ellis is amazing, the CEO, and hey, Greg, they're shooting me up with the best clothes in the world. So, I am now a model. Me and Jimmy G, we're modeling Travis Matthews.
But the whole main attraction of all those people that you just named is you, Big Dave.
That's because I'm blessed, and you're about to meet and get to know one of my first mentors. We started a men's group years and years and years ago together, San Diego phenom himself, and I have my San Diego blessed hat because I am so blessed to be guided. You know how I've helped you. This guy was my original mentor in speaking, especially, and just mindset. David Corbin, Greg Reid.
Oh, he was?
Oh yeah, Greg and I go way back. The original Secret Knock. He helped me more with my first book than anybody else. My first speaking engagements, giving me advice about slowing down, not walking so much. There's a variety of things that he taught me. And you know what was great, Craig, is that I had the same ego that you had when I started. And he helped teach me to utilize that ego in an effective manner. And I could not be more excited than to have Greg Reid here with us.
Phenomenal. I didn't know the extent of that connection.
Well, he doesn't admit it because he still thinks I'm a shitty speaker. So he doesn't admit that he helps me.
He's awesome.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I tell people I help you and guide you, but I don't blame him. I wouldn't admit to it either, but he's an amazing soul.
Yeah, he's awesome. We've been talking a little bit. I'm super excited. We're going to bring him on in 1 minute. And I'm going to throw a quick curveball at you real quick. You ready?
Yeah.
What is your superpower, Dave?
Kindness. That's it, man. Kindness.
You have another one that I believe is yours as well.
Oh, consistency for sure in a pragmatic world. But overall, my superpower in life, regardless of whether I was consistent or not, is to be kind. And I want both messages to be out there that these are superpowers that will change your life. And if you look at things with a perspective of kindness and you're consistently doing what you want to do, like being kind, I promise you the aggregate effect. This is happening. It's so much fun to watch. I'm doing a show with Mike Tannenbaum, the former general manager of the Jets. ESPN's analyst. He's a big time sports executive. And, we started like you and I with this, and, we didn't have very many people, just put it that way, when we did our first show, but it's been doubling and doubling and doubling. And we're getting to the doubling factor like you are, where it's significant. And I am more excited to have that show combined with this show and Brian Bogert's show, and then my office hours 2-minute drill, the playbook, because the doubling just keeps happening. You know why? Because I'm kind and consistent.
Yeah, and you're also a sex swordfish. That's in the
I am a sex swordfish, whatever that may mean. But I really appreciate all the animal analogies that you give, and it makes my heart sing. So thank you.
And just so you know, there's an endless repertoire of them coming. But ultimately, your roster, all kidding aside, with the amount of shows that you have, it's awesome. And each thing does something a little bit different. So kudos to you. You're setting
it. And I'll have approval for this show to put it on TV. So it's been submitted, as you know, and I will guarantee that we will have our approval before April 1st, and it won't be an April Fool's joke when I tell everybody. So hang on tight. You'll be seeing Dave and Greg and our guest on Apple TV. Our first season will be coming up, guaranteed.
Do I look like a giddy goose?
Yeah, Giddy Greg Goose is coming on.
Yeah, we're going to bring him on right now. While I'm bringing him on, something that I always tell my clients that you taught me, something actually I kind of knew this in the beginning, which is how you and I kind of formed a special bond, is the power of asking for help.
Yeah, man. That's the key to life. I have to force myself still. I want everyone to listen to this, because everyone will tell me I brought this to the table before you taught it to me. Of course you did. Same with gratitude. But millions of people want to know about gratitude, but you're effing stupid if you don't tell me that you already knew gratitude before you met Greg Reid or Dave Meltzer. But the same thing holds true with asking. But Greg will tell you this, because he is an asker like me. We love to receive, to give. But I can't tell you how many times I walk away from a situation and tell myself, you're an effing idiot. Why didn't you ask for his number? Why didn't you ask for the opportunity? Why? Look, I teach people gratitude. I forget to say thank you. I teach people to ask, and they already know how. But the reason I teach is I walk away from millions of dollars literally a week because I don't ask. I'm around these extraordinary individuals like Greg Reid, and I'll walk away going, shit, I didn't ask him if I could speak at his event, or I didn't ask him if he could help me with this. Why am I such a wimp? Anyway, go ahead and introduce my superhero.
First of all, Greg, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited to connect. I'm a fan. I didn't realize the connection that you and Dave had.
Are you kidding? Wait. I was listening to that pre-ramble part. First of all, the swordfish thing, we all need a name like that. Come on, that's pretty awesome. And then door number 2, Dave's my hero. Are you kidding me? It's so funny. We were just in an interview for this new book, and we were talking outside, and we were talking about speaking and how we've grown and expanded over all this, decade of time. And I told him, I go, you won. I go, out of all our guy, you're on the biggest stages. You're the one getting all this attention and crushing it. You already are the champion in our little sphere. So, Dave, again, publicly announced, you are the champion. Congratulations. You the man.
I love you. He's amazing, man. Now you know why I love you.
Yeah, the student becomes the master, right? and I want to talk about asking. This is one of these things I've been working on lately. So I've been getting a lot of access to a lot of people to write these books and make movies and stuff. And people ask how I do it. And here's my secret: specificity. I'm very good at this. And so what that means is that if I want to get to the founder of NASCAR, I don't sit there and say, I want to pick your brain. I want to take you to lunch. I want to be of service. How can I be of contribution? No one has time for that. So the real reality is I say, hey, listen, man, I need 12.5 minutes of your time. I'll cover all my own expense and time to come to see you. From the time out in the door till the time I leave will be 12.5 minutes. I'll start a stopwatch. I'm going to ask you one simple question, X, Y, Z. The chance of them coming from their office down to the break room to do that is so high. But so many people, ask and put a burden on the other people, and that's why they don't accept all the time. I'll give you another example. If I get off stage and there's 10,000 people and there's a long line to meet you and take pictures, they say the nicest things. How can I be of contribution? How can I be of service? I don't got 30 minutes to do a resume check. You come up and say, dude, I love your talk. You got 1 million followers on Instagram. I make memes. Let me send you one. If you like it, maybe you'll use me. In 6 seconds, I know who you are, what you do. You got my contact, and we're connected. And I think that specificity is the door opener of the modern world that we live in.
All right. Greg's coming in hot today. Dave, what are you smiling at?
Because I get the reverse, right? And you know, I am not a hyper competitive person with others, but within myself, and I will give 5 minutes to anyone, as you know, right? But nobody nobody effing calls me. Nobody. I literally stand on the stages with Greg, the same places, and I'll say, hey, here's my cell phone number, 858-688-3294. Don't leave me a message, because then you become don't leave me a text message, because that's burdensome, because I get hundreds of texts and I'll lose it. But if you leave me a voice message, if I don't answer and you leave me a voice message and say, David, you promised me 5 minutes, let's set up a 5-minute call, you got it. And if you want to come visit me, I will give anyone 20 minutes, not even 12.5. And yet my voicemail is empty today. I got hundreds of text messages, thousands of email messages. I tell people exactly the best way to communicate with me if you want to do something with me. And yet people are afraid to ask, even with an invitation. And I love what Greg has learned to do with the specificity that he has utilized. Look, the biggest names love specificity. And I'll use 3 that always blow my mind: Jack Canfield, the late Bob Proctor, and Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, I texted him. I'm on the Olympic Committee. I texted Mark Cuban. I said, Mark, USA Rugby needs $500,000. We're short. Can you help? This was my text, because he prefers text, because he has 2 phones, and he'll always tell me, Dave, just text. Within a minute, he said, NP 250K and wired money. That's how fast this guy worked, right? Meanwhile, how many people in the world wanted to raise money from Mark Cuban and probably sent him decks and whatever it is? But the specificity and the response, the same thing with Jack Canfield anytime I reach out to him, and the late Bob Proctor. And I'm like a little child when they get back to me and say no, right? Because sometimes that's all they say is no, right? Like Cuban, I asked him to be on my TV show, schedule didn't work, and he just texts back, no. And I don't take offense to it, but he got back to me in like 3 seconds. And I'm like, happy I got the no, instead of, oh, does he like me? Doesn't he like me? Why won't he answer me? Think about how much time, emotion, value, and money you waste not being specific and not asking like Greg Reid does.
Yeah, and you know, a step further also with this thing, in addition, I did a little TV pilot during COVID, and the whole concept is, we called it Wake Up and Crush It. And the idea is that we started giving people obstacles to actually jump through a hoop to see if they'll take action. Because you and I realize that it's the action and the law of attraction that makes your dreams a reality. Think it, feel, get off your ass. You got to do something, take action and do it. And so I got tired of wasting my time giving amazing content, information, contacts to people that did nothing with it. So I started, putting some hoops out there. So for example, someone comes up and says, hey, can I have, again, 10 minutes of your time or 20 minutes of your time? The answer would be absolutely yes. Here's my cell phone. You got to text me Tuesday at 10:10 a.m. and say, I'm ready. That gets rid of 99.999% of people. And then the one person who does text, I say, great, I'll meet you Thursday at noon at this location. Bring 2 empty lobster shells and a baseball helmet. That gets rid of the other 99.99. But the one person that'll text you at that time and show up with the baseball helmet, the chance of them taking the information and guidance you give them and actually applying it is 100%. And people always ask why we have such a high ratio of success, and that is the actual answer.
About 15 years ago, when I met Greg Reid, he said, send me a paperclip. And I stole that from him. This is pre-text, pre-bullshit, but literally, dude, I'm happy. You can come speak at my event, send me a paperclip. I'm looking at myself going, well, who the F is this guy? Sure, I'll send you. And I did, of course. And he built, like I said, gave me the first stages to speak upon, gave me great advice. And like he said, I ran with it because I sent him the goddamn paperclip, but I also stole the paperclip idea, included it in my book. I get sometimes people from around send me big paper clips, bags of paper clips. So please, this shit works. He saved me so much time, money, and annoyance of people that don't have coherence. They don't really remember what you say, and they definitely don't do anything about what you say or help them with. So awesome. Go ahead, Siegel the Eagle.
I was just gonna say, it's crazy to me because when I went to go visit you, Dave, you had to kick me out of your office because I just wanted to pick your brain and learn as much as I can. Anything you said, I was a sponge. It's just crazy to me how a lot of people say that they want it, but do they really? You know what I'm saying?
You showed up, and look where you are right now. I will tell you, out of all the clients that I have, all the friends that I have, you're the one that people bring up and say, hey, can I get the Craig Siegel package?
Yeah.
I would say that I'm definitely the third most handsome cat on this call right now, and I want to acknowledge Greg's awesome jacket right now, straight up.
There you go. It's interesting because I do wear interesting jackets and stuff on stage. And I'll give you my couple little quick speaker tips. So number one, I realize the backdrop, wherever you speak, is either a white backdrop or a black, usually black. And a lot of people wear black suits, and then what happens is they become a talking head on that screen. So I realized by just wearing a red jacket or a green jacket or a blue jacket or a yellow jacket, anything opposite, I would automatically pop off. And the audience would go, God, I really like that guy. And they didn't know why, but subconsciously is because all of a sudden I connected and popped off the screen. And door number two, Les Brown taught me a great line. He says, look, when you have a microphone, you can tell a beginner from an experienced one. He says, and a beginner will hold the microphone right here up to their face. He goes, if you look at all my videos, I hold at the end and I hold it out here so you can still see me. I can connect with you, but you can hear my voice at all times. Little things like that, I'm telling you, can make a huge difference in your speaking career.
Take a mental note right now from that, and I appreciate that, and I love it. And also, yes, Dave, Greg, I wanted to ask you because I was doing some creeping on your content because I'm a fan, and obviously I wanted to have a great conversation. Something that you said really hit home, and I think the audience could really use this on a Saturday morning. You said, when looking into a big idea or a big life-changing situation, ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? And if you can handle it, go for it.
That's right. So many people don't reverse engineer their situations. And so for myself, if I look at something, go, look, I'm going to go make this new TV show. I'm going to do a movie. I'm going to go do this other project and go, well, what's the worst thing that can happen? Well, it could crap the bed. It could not work. People could lose their money. So I go, okay, well, then let's reverse engineer that. What if we went to people and said, hey, I'm doing this movie, I'm doing this thing, we're looking for investors. You might just lose your money. Chances are you will. And more than likely, but here's what we're going to do. And here's the mission. Here's the cause. And imagine the people's lives that we could impact. By just being upfront and having that open dialogue and conversation is what I think is missing in today's world. And so many people are trying to be cool, or they're trying to over dramatize what they're doing. And to me, it's like, say more but speak less, and by doing so, all of a sudden the doors of opportunity will start slinging open.
Greg's got nuggets today. Dave, what are you grinning at?
Oh, I just enjoy what I've missed for years. We started a small little men's group, a mastermind, an original one years and years ago, and I know it's turned into hundreds of people that belong to that. But I miss, we used to meet, and these are the types of conversations that we would have off screen with some of the greatest souls in the world.
Yeah.
The founder of UGG Boots and the founder of Pictionary and David Corbin. In, what lit up my smile was the ability to illuminate, was a lesson that I learned early on in my men's group hey, why don't you just tell them they're going to lose their money and see what they say. They might just enjoy doing the movie with you and enjoy the experience of it and be able to tell their friends and get some marketing value out of it. And it's really not about the investment. It's about the experience or the relationships or the marketing and platform that it can be utilized as. So I think Illumination was a lesson, and I was smirking just going back in time. I will say, because I am a little more woo-woo than most people, one of the things that I learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza that is really changing my perspective of what Greg's talking about. And that's the understanding of attaching your emotions to an outcome. Part of the reasons we oversell, back and sell, lie, manipulate, and cheat is that we put our energy in motion towards an outcome or an effect. And a lot of people can't reconcile this idea of detaching your emotions from an outcome. You see, I wake up every day and think about these big things. I want to kill off all the limitations in my life because I know what I'm connected to and through. I live with so much more faith than I used to, as everyone knows, with something bigger than me that loves me more than my mom. But when I attach every morning and say, this is what I want midterm, this is what I want long-term, now by utilizing my energy and emotion, my focus and intention on the cause of that, as Greg has indicated or illustrated, is called connecting the dots backwards, or whatever mechanism you want to utilize. But the physics side of it, the metaphysical side of it, is that when we put our energy, emotion, our attention and intention on a cause, instead of the outcome or the effect, we speed up time. In fact, one of my objectives in life is to live with infinite patience. Which I can't do, but I'm trying to do, because if you can achieve infinite, which means unbelievably a lot, patience, everything happens instantaneously. So in other words, everyone here listening to Greg Reid should understand that the interval between cause and effect is time. And if you want to lengthen the time, put your energy and emotion on the outcome or effect. If you want to minimize the time, put your energy and emotion on the cause, by connecting those dots, by illuminating, by all the mechanisms that Greg Reid said. So I know I took it deep, but it's my Saturday, it's my holiday, it's the Mecca of Meltzer. Have the right mindset, be blessed. I love you both.
Love you too, buddy. And you can hear my son screaming. I think he just won a Fortnite game up there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty epic. It's interesting. Bob Proctor and I did a book together called Think and Grow Rich, Thoughts Are Things. And it's where your thoughts become your realities. And when we went on the mission, we thought it was just going to be some magical, hairy, fairy stuff where, you think of it and magically appears like you see in The Secret. And we really quickly realized, after interviewing all the most amazing neuroscientists and physicists, that thoughts are not things. It's only your thoughts backed by actions become your realities. If thoughts were things, I'd be a blueberry bagel because I'm hungry right now, right? But when we're done with this and I go to Einstein's, my thoughts become reality by the actions we take. We have 64,000 thoughts a day. Majority of them are ants, automatic negative thought, the reptilian part of your brain to protect you, to keep you safe. So if you walked out of a cave, a dinosaur wouldn't eat you. So if we have 64,000 thoughts a day, a majority of them are ants, then everything should be chaos and drama in our life, which it is not. It's only the thoughts that we take action towards become our truth. How many times have we had $1 million idea in the shower? By the time we brush our teeth, it's down the drain, to see it on a billboard 10 years later saying, there's my idea. The only difference is somebody took action with that when they threw it out into the universe.
And there's 5 actions, by the way, because I get this in coaching people, Craig, and you know this. There's 5 actions, and this is why people are like, but Greg Reid, I'm doing everything I can, and it's not happening. Or they then take it to the next level. I'm saying everything I can. The speed of voice is faster than the pragmatic speed of your own selves. Then they'll say, but Greg, I'm thinking. This is an action. Thinking's an action. Still not happening. Then there becomes belief as the 4th one, but you are not there unless you do all 5 actions, which is do, say, think, believe, and feel. You have to clear the interference and feel the inspiration. You have to have inspired thought combined with these activities in order to effectuate the materialization of the actual inception of the thought.
Agreed. And you got to get out of your own way. What if God, the universe, granted every wish, every prayer we asked for, but we didn't like the packaging, so we sent it on its way? Dear God, I need $100. Please, Lord, $100. Your neighbor pulls up in a pickup truck. It's full of aluminum cans. He says, man, take these off my hands, cash them in. They're worth $100. You might say, I don't want those stinky things. You asked, you prayed, it was delivered, but you didn't like the packaging, so you turned it down. Well, that tells the universe and your higher power the next time you ask for something, you might not get it delivered because you didn't like the way in which it came. So that's where the saying comes from: be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it, but beware of the packaging in which it comes to you.
I love
promoted and protected, right? Promoted and protected. You got it.
Yeah, it's so interesting, and I know we're going to continue here. My heart's telling me to share a story real quick. Are you taking off, Dave?
No. I'm going to tell the story. I thought you were going to leave. Yeah, tell the story.
All right. So it's interesting. I did this book where when I went through my latest divorce and we're splitting everything up, and it was really interesting because I go, man, I should have more money than this. Crap like that. And I realized that all my books were,
you mean your wife that wore a cape for a certain
exactly. I go, listen, but all my books were about, not quitting and persevering, but it wasn't about really wealth, creation. So I wrote a book called Wealth Made Easy. A good author writes about what they need help with the most. And I interviewed people worth $100 million to $1 billion for 3 years. And one person gave me an aha that just changed my whole paradigm. And it's an acronym that's C, the letter C, P, C. And if I would have learned this when I was 20, it would have changed my life. It's about accountability and responsibility for every single thing that happens. Own it. So, for example, if I go out on a first date and the woman happens to be 20 minutes late, anything could have happened, but there's a little red flag. That's a C. That's a clue. If I go out on the 20th and 30th date and I like her, and every time she's 20 minutes late, that forms a P, which is a pattern. Now it's my C, my choice, whether I deal with it, I yell at her, I break up, I tell her a different time, but it's not her fault. She's just late. We have to stop trying to change people to fit into our own paradigm box. Newsflash, no one wants to be changed. But we'll see someone with a bad reputation in business, they cheat your best friend, you do business thinking, oh, it'll be different for me. And when things go wrong, you're mad at the person. You saw the clue, you saw the pattern, you made the choice. It's like seeing a rattlesnake rattle, bite your kid's sister, you pet it, get bit, and you're mad at the snake. Looking back, rarely will we be angry at relationships that failed or negotiations that fell through. We're just mad at ourselves because we stayed in too late.
I got to tell a quick story to back this up because this kills me. One of my favorite Greg Reid stories. So we used to play golf, and when we played at an executive course, and you used to be able to do whatever you wanted to the golf, and we bet on skins. You could do it. You could do whatever you wanted to the person,
but you can't touch them.
Can't touch them. So my best one ever, we had a lot of skins rolling, and Greg's wife wore a cape around to show the power of women to be a superhero. And so he's kind of lining up, and I said, they started talking, and I said, it's weird. I go, I just had to admit, we're talking about illuminating. I said, I have a really bad habit of hitting on my friends' wives. And he kind of looks back at me like, Dave, you're happily married. What do you, like, I can see it in his face. I got him. And he's like, what do you mean? I go, yeah, it's really weird. I go, and actually, sometimes I actually sleep with my friends' wives. I want to be honest with you guys since we're talking about illumination.
And I'm getting ready to hit the ball.
He's getting ready to hit the ball. He starts in the backswing. I go, and if I actually sleep with them, I make them wear a cape for a year. And he flubs a shot. I was like, I win. Oh my God. It was the best mind golf in the history of mind golf. I will tell you, we had more fun on that piece of junk Mission Bay course and still would, and I gladly will do it again. Let's definitely hook back up, G.
Yeah, good time. It's like we're going down memory lane. I mean, this has been over a 10-year period, Dave. Let's get the band back together, baby.
Yeah. This is awesome. And we'll land the plane with this. I could talk for 10 hours, guys. We'll land the plane with this one. Greg, I saw you also say this, and I think this would be good for the audience to go into the rest of the weekend. The true measure of great leaders is how well they measure or weather storms, I should say. And spoiler alert for the world and for the audience listening, like storms, obstacles, adversity is a prerequisite for life.
Yeah. Well, we learn more about someone's character on their bad day than all their good days put together. It's easy to be happy-go-lucky when things are going your direction, but it's when things hit the fan that you learn their true character as an individual. So for example, if my son is riding his bicycle, as crazy as it is, I want to see him hit a fork in the thing and fall over, because how he gets up, that's who the true character's person is revealed. And you can learn more about those situations than anything else. And we've adopted this always good mentality. You'll notice a lot of the great leaders, what we do is we adopt an always good mentality. That means, look, things are going to go disarray. Things are going to be a challenge. But when they do and they ask how things are going, we still say always good. The reason is that we know that there's going to be an upside. You never make a major life-changing decision while you're in a valley. Think about it. Everything is cyclical. You have ups and you have downs. How can you make a positive, life-changing decision at your lowest point in life? But since things are cyclical, you have to wait till you have a little bit of an upside, a little bit of giddy up in your step, a little bit of wind in your sail. And if you can make a decision from that point of view, you'll save over 10 years of your life from going back and correcting the wrong choices you made because they're based at your lowest point.
I genuinely learned so much on this call. Thank you guys so much. This is awesome. Dave, take us home.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that in the context of sports. Everybody looks at their wins and their losses, the W and the L columns. I look at my W and L columns in terms of value, and meaning that the W to me in the terms of value means waste of time. I'm just executing what I know. The L stands for learning lessons. And the faster I learn and the more intelligent of a follower I am, the L also stands for leadership. The great leaders, the greatest of all time, and I'll use baseball as my analogy to bring this home because I am a fan of some of, I think the one team that has some of the most L's in their column right here, but they're blessed. Think about Babe Ruth. Think about Barry Bonds. If I ask you what they did, you would say they were the greatest home run hitters, the biggest winners of all in history of baseball. You would buy their baseball for so much money if it was signed by them. It's unbelievable and unfathomable to me that you would do so. But what nobody talks about is what? If I ask you who has the most losses, the most strikeouts in history, you would say Barry Bonds and Babe Ruth, because they have the value of all the L's in order to have all the waste of time home runs that they're just executing on what they really know. And it's what they've learned from the L's. So don't be afraid of having far more L's in the column. Those are the lessons learned. If you want to be a great leader, make sure you fill up your L column. The W's will take care of themselves. They're just execution and a waste of your time. I know everyone's going to have an amazing weekend. I just got to thank you, Craig Siegel, the Eagle, for bringing me and my boy, the gorgeous Greg Reid, back. I look at him. This man is hot, hot, hot. When he's on stage in a yellow jacket, he is a yellow jackal. He's my favorite bumblebee, the bee of knowledge. He's amazing. If you did not get any nuggets from this, then you're sleeping. I love you both. Thank you so much. Greg, I'll meet you at Mission Bay. Let's make a time.
See you soon. Bye. Thanks, Craig.
Greg, thank you so much for stopping by, brother. We'll connect soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Boy.
Craig and Greg. Woo! Animal Farm. See you guys later.
Happy Saturday, guys. Too much fun. That was phenomenal. Is there really anything better than the paradigm shift? Saturday morning, you're dropping a couple nuggets, some gems. Clifton Sparks in the house. Big Dave, Carrie, Jesse, Rachel, Alex. Everybody's out today. Cynthia in the house. Ken. Love you guys all. What an unbelievable episode. Thank you, Greg, for stopping by, dropping those priceless nuggets. I got to tell you guys, I was not the smartest cat in the room today, and that's how I like it, because I just learned a whole lot. Even some tips from being on stage as we continue to dance on stages, even something as simple as holding the microphone right here. So Pablo in the house, Lori Burns, Amanda Clark, I want to thank you guys for dropping the gems. Everybody else that joined us, Essie, Helene Siegel in the house. Too much fun, guys. Just do me one last favor. Take the nuggets that you just heard and apply them to life, just as I'm going to myself. That's all I can ask, straight up. That's how we all learn, grow, get better. Trevor in the house, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Stacy in the house, the Quantum Queen. So, Jesse. So, guys, take the nuggets and apply them. That's what it's all about, because knowledge is potential power. You have to actually take action. Just as Greg said, in the missing ingredient to the secret is it's not just the power of intention, it's actually facilitating action. Bang! Too much fun. Next week, come to think of it, is episode 52, which marks the 1-year anniversary of the paradigm shift. So Alexandra Spire, bring on someone phenomenal. No pressure at all. Cherry Shuk in the house. Guys, a year of the paradigm shift. What an unbelievable experience. Phenomenal show. April, how you doing? C-Frog/C Hoops, no big deal. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited for the rest of this day. I'm excited for life. Life is great. I'm very blessed. And ultimately, I wasn't always like this. I identified and got clarity on what sets my soul on fire and why I'm here to make an impact and contribute. And to combine that with also making an unbelievable living, life couldn't be better. And so the reason why I'm telling you guys this, for all of you out there that aren't exactly as happy as you'd like to be, spoiler alert, you can find a hybrid of making an impact, contributing, and making a gigantic living as well. And I'm living proof that you can reinvent yourself just like that if you want to, if you commit to. Surround yourself with great people. All right, guys, I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Nothing is unattainable if you're committed. Again, big difference between being interested and being committed. If you're committed, nothing in this world is unattainable. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Have an unbelievable weekend.